NFL fans, welcome back to Let's Get Offensive. I'm Milk.
I'm Chocolate.
Today we're taking a look at Week 4 of the NFL. We'll look at Week 5. But before we start off with the football, we do have some sad news.
This past Wednesday, former Cowboys tight end Gavin Escobar died while rock climbing.
This past Sunday at the Jets versus Steelers game, a fan died. He fell down the escalator.
We here at Let's Get Offensive give our condolences to their family and friends.
We're sorry for your losses. We would also like to take a minute to mention Terry Bradshaw's cancer diagnosis. We hope the treatment continues to go well and that you come out on top.
Rooting for you.
Indeed. A little bit of drama as well. Tom Brady and his wife, Giselle, have reportedly hired divorce lawyers. Brady obviously retired at the end of last season before making the call to come back. Do you think the decision to keep playing football stirred up some trouble?
I believe so. Obviously, this isn't the first time that Brady has said he was going to retire and then came back. He obviously retired this past off season, but him coming back, I think, might have stirred up a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, for sure. All right, first up, we've got Thursday night football. The Miami Dolphins traveled to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. The Bengals held on for the 27-15. That was not the only loss that the Dolphins took that night. Quarterback Tua Tagovailoa took a big hit in the second half of last week's Bills game and was last listed as having neck and back injuries, but was cleared to play Thursday's game. Tua then got hit hard again in the Bengals game, and he was out. They carried him onto a stretcher, which took 7 minutes. Teddy Bridgewater came in, and he didn't do terrible, just not enough to take down the Bengals.
I think this was like a really stupid decision on the coach's part.
Oh, yeah. Because I think a lot of people think that Tua got a concussion during the Buffalo game, and he definitely should not have been playing against Cincinnati.
He definitely shouldn't have.
No.
That was, I think, part the coach's fault, but also part Tua's fault for, like, saying, yeah, I can play. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
But mainly the coaches.
I say it's not even really the coaches, it's the team doctor.
Yeah, the team doctor as well.
The team doctors who cleared him to play have been fired.
He was obviously not, fit to play.
He was able to fly home with the Dolphins Friday morning, but is ruled out for next week's game.
Good.
So, yeah. Hoping that he makes a speedy recovery and that he's good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to the Sunday slate of games, we've got the Saints and the Vikings traveling to London to play Sunday morning. The Vikings were able to get the win 28-25 after kicking a go-ahead field goal with 24 seconds left. The Saints drove downfield and got into field goal range, but the infamous double doink traveled to England and struck on what would be the game-tying field goal.
I absolutely love that name.
The double
doink.
It's, I think even more than I love the name, I love watching it happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's only ever been 2, I think.
I believe so.
It's incredible. All right, moving on to the biggest and for sure the most unexpected shootouts of the week. We've got the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Detroit Lions.
This game was fun to watch.
I couldn't watch this one.
This game was fun to watch, especially in the second half, where a lot of scoring happened, especially in the fourth quarter.
Oh, yeah. The Seahawks were able to beat the Lions 48-45, which, fun fact, that is the only time that score has ever happened in NFL history.
Mm-hmm. That is surprising. That's the only time that score has happened ever, but still, it's the Seahawks and the Lions who managed to pull that off.
Yeah, you think about teams that maybe aren't having as great of seasons, and you think, okay, this is going to be low scoring, neither team's going to do well. You're thinking max, a team puts up 21 points.
Mm-hmm.
you're definitely not expecting 48-45.
Nope.
I think even more impressive is that DJ Chark, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and DeAndre Swift were all out for the Lions. So Jared Goff relied pretty heavily on T.J. Hawkinson, and Jamal Williams, got a pretty heavy workload as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible.
It was amazing.
Next up, we've got what would eventually turn into the battle of the young QBs. The New York Jets traveled to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. This game marked the return of Zach Wilson, and after halftime, the NFL debut of Kenny Pickett. The Jets won on a last-minute rushing touchdown from Breece Hall to put them up 24-20 and take the dub.
Yep. So, like I said, you think about, like you said.
Stop stealing the truth. Stop trying to steal my credit.
No. But, like, as you said, you think about teams that aren't having as great of seasons, like the Dolphins, or actually not the Dolphins. The Dolphins have an amazing season. What am I talking about? The Lions and the Steelers. Like, they're not having as great of seasons as, like, you would expect them to have.
Yeah.
And the Lions put up 45 points.
Yeah.
But then the Steelers come out and only put up, 20?
Yeah.
It's like the Steelers are obviously a better team than the Lions, but
they played the Jets.
Well, no, like when you think about the Steelers and the Lions, do you think that the Steelers are a better team, or do you think that the Lions are a better team based on their history?
Oh, on their history, 100% the Steelers.
Yeah, and you would expect them to do better, right?
Oh yeah.
But this game, not so much.
Yeah. Moving on to one of the less entertaining games of the week. We've got the Chicago Bears traveling to New York to take on the Giants. The Giants held on for the win 20-12. The Giants are a bit of a surprise team for me. Did not expect them to be 3-1 at this point. Daniel Jones doesn't look terrible. Saquon looked like he's back. I think the Giants could be a surprise wild card spot in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to make it to at least wild card. At least wild card, but I don't think they're going to make it to the Super Bowl this year.
Oh,
they're not. They're definitely not on my Super Bowl favorites.
I don't think they even make it necessarily past the first round.
Yeah, I think it's like first round max.
Yeah.
And then they get knocked out.
And I think they snag like the 6th or the 7th seed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they get very high.
No.
Next up, we head to Indianapolis, where the Titans took down the Colts 24-17. Both of these teams feature strong rushing attacks, but unfortunately for the Colts, Jonathan Taylor left the game early. There's not much information about his injury at the time of recording, but given that the Colts play on Thursday, Taylor is unlikely to play.
That is a big loss for that team.
Oh, yeah.
He is a core member, and I think one of like their top leaders, and him getting knocked out, I think just like knocked out early, just kind of like trickled.
The Colts kind of fizzled out a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, in the NFL, would you say there's anything more satisfying than a nice bounce back win?
Maybe like really deep interceptions.
That's fair.
And like really long interceptions that come back for a touchdown are so satisfying.
You look at Hines Ward in the Super Bowl, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe a last-minute touchdown.
Yeah, maybe a last-minute touchdown.
But bounce back wins are definitely up there.
Yeah, they're one of like the few satisfying things.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what the LA Chargers did this week. After falling to the Jaguars, they took care of business against the Texans, won 34-24. Nice to see them back. It was nice to see that Justin Herbert wasn't too injured. against the Jaguars. He hurt his ribs, but he's back out there making magic happen.
The Magic Man.
But not Houdini.
Not Houdini.
That's somebody else. We'll get to that later.
We'll get to him in a minute.
All right. I think in addition to the Giants, the Falcons are a surprise team for me this year. They took a downgrade at quarterback. Calvin Ridley is suspended for the year, but they're beating some decent teams. They played host to the Cleveland Browns and won 23-20.
I think that the Falcons are definitely a surprise team for most people, but for me, it's like not coming anywhere close to like the Dolphins, who I didn't expect to be 3-1.
I don't think a lot of people expected the Lions to be 4-0 at this point.
Spoilers. But I mean, like they are definitely like up there with like the surprise teams, but not high on my list.
Yeah. Moving on to probably what is Chocolate's favorite game of the week. The Dallas Cowboys played host to the Washington Commanders and took care of them 25-10.
I'm happy.
With this win, Cooper Rush is now 4-0 as a starter for the Cowboys.
The only Cowboys quarterback to be 4-0 in their first 4 starts.
Mm-hmm.
Could
there be a QB battle in Dallas?
I believe so. With them signing
Colin Kaepernick.
With them signing him, I think it's going to be a like a quarterback shootout to see who is better and who's better at maintaining control of this team, which obviously Cooper Rush has shown throughout the weeks that he is so much better at keeping this team together. Did they not sign Colin Kaepernick?
Ignore everything we just said about the Cowboys signing Colin Kaepernick.
Did Let's Get Offensive get faked out? Did where I get my source from lie?
Yes. Don't trust anything out of Chocolate's mouth.
I thought they signed. I'm sorry.
Faulty information.
No, I'm not. But, I mean, as I was saying with Cooper Rush, he has proven over these past few games to be able to control this, or not control, but help out and maintain this Cowboys offense that was absolute trash with Dak.
I mean, yeah, with Dak, they put up 3 points.
Yeah, and then with Cooper Rush, we're winning games.
Yeah.
And our defense is immaculate.
I mean, you got Trayvon Diggs, you got Micah Parsons, you got Leighton Vander Esch, you got DeMarcus Lawrence,
and we got I forget his first name, Quinn. It's something Quinn.
Is he a player or a coach?
Player. The linebacker, I believe. I believe he's a linebacker. Hold on, we're gonna fact check this because I apparently need help with some of this stuff. Robert Quinn
plays for the Chicago Bears.
He plays for the Chicago Bears?
Mm-hmm. He played for the Dallas Cowboys in 2019.
What the hell? Am I living in 2019?
Shit, maybe.
Whoa, dude. No. No, I could have sworn the announcers were saying a lot of Quinn that game. But, I mean, we also have...
One of the coaches is named Dan Quinn.
Is it Dan Quinn? I believe... Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the defensive coordinator.
Oh, my God. I don't even know my own team.
Look at this dude.
I don't even know my own team. I should go back to the fields.
Yeah. Be gone.
Be gone, by.
Staying in the NFC East, we got the Philadelphia Eagles playing host to the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars shocked a lot of people last week when they beat the Chargers. They were unable to have a repeat performance, falling to the Eagles 29-21. Eagles are now 4-0 and the only undefeated team left in the NFL.
That is not surprising.
I think if you've watched how the Eagles have been playing, it's not surprising.
Mm-mm.
I think coming into the season, a lot of people thought the Eagles were going to do well. I mean, you go out and you get A.J. Brown. Jalen Hurts is continuing to improve. I saw a stat the other day. This is the first season since high school where he's had the same coaching staff in back-to-back years. Like, it's crazy.
I mean, I absolutely hate the Eagles, and you guys know this, but they're playing really well.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not surprising that they're playing well, but at the same time, it kind of is surprising. Sorry about that little interruption.
We'll just edit that out.
We'll edit that out.
3.
And, I mean, it's not like there's much that those teams can do against them.
Yeah.
It's more of, like, how do you stop that offense?
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen them go up against great defenses. Like, some, like, the best ones in the league.
Have we, though?
Have we? Wait, who do they play?
Does Chocolate even know what he's talking about?
My brain is on the fridge today. We're going to fact check this again. No sleep.
Sorry, choking on your excuses. I mean, they played the Lions week 1, which
Great defense.
Debatable.
No, well, actually, yeah, great offense, not great defense.
Yeah. They
The
played the
defense let up 38 points to the freaking Seahawks.
48.
48 points to the freaking Seahawks? How you do that?
Week 2, they played the Vikings. Stellar offense for the Vikings.
Oh, yeah, that offense is amazing.
Pretty good defense there, too. They were able to rally 24-7. They played the Commanders. Not a terrible defense, but not great.
Mm-mm.
And then they played the Jaguars. Also not great.
I mean, the Jaguars have been a good team this year.
I don't know about good. Decent for sure.
Decent, but still better than what they used to be.
Yeah.
I mean, with the new additions that they've got, they got the young quarterback. Did they get a new quarterback? Last year. Yeah, sorry. My brain's on the fritz.
You the funny man.
I'm the funny man, you the fact man. That's right.
All right. Keeping things rolling. One of the most hyped games of the week. Buffalo Bills traveled to Baltimore to take on Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. Houdini, yes. The Ravens seemingly had this game in the bag at halftime, leading 20-10. But Josh Allen led the comeback, outscoring Baltimore 13-0 in the second half to take home the 23-20 win. Victory does come at a price, however. Bills wide receiver Jamison Crowder suffered a broken ankle and is out for the rest of the season. On a more positive note, like we mentioned earlier, Lamar Jackson looked like Houdini. The play I'm thinking of, Jackson slipped out of like 3 sacks and threw the ball for a first down.
Mm-hmm.
It was incredible.
The only thing that I would have to say about this game is I got really excited for it, and then watching it, I just became really sad. I became really, really sad.
Yeah, I think a lot of people.
I expect this game to be an absolute shootout.
Yeah, I mean, you look at you look at week 2?
Yeah.
When the Dolphins played the Ravens.
Mm-hmm. That was week 2.
That was incredible.
And then you've got this week, and they're losing 13-0. 13?
No. They were up 20-10, and then Buffalo outscored them 13-0. So Buffalo put up 13 more points.
I stopped watching after the first quarter, after halfway through the first quarter.
This dude. Look at this dude.
But this game just disappointed me, so I left early.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are expecting a shootout. So.
Yeah, I expected the first couple of plays to be really close and really entertaining, but it wasn't.
Yeah. Keeping with the theme of mobile quarterbacks, next up we've got the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Carolina Panthers. The Cardinals were able to come away with the win, 26-16.
16?
16. Shut up.
You've been mixing those up a lot lately.
Yeah. I think the most surprising part of this game is that Christian McCaffrey still isn't injured.
How?
Yeah. This dude has to sit out 2 to 4 weeks if he wakes up on the wrong side of the bed. So the fact that going into week 5 he's uninjured is astounding.
He wakes up with a little numb in the shoulder. I'm out for a month.
Hang on, coach. I got to sneeze. Sorry, I'm out for the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm. And he's not injured. That's really surprising.
Yeah.
That man's got bones of glass.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Moving on. We've got the Las Vegas Raiders hosting the Denver Broncos. The Broncos were coming in on a 2-game winning streak, whereas the Raiders were 0-3. They struggled to get anything going this season. The Raiders were able to snap their 3-game losing streak, taking the win 32-23.
The Raiders still own you. You guys have lost to them the past 5 games you've played them.
When was the last time the Cowboys beat the Broncos, huh?
Hey, we didn't say that we owned you. The Raiders own you.
That's true. On top of the actual loss, the Broncos also lost running back Javonte Williams for the rest of the season with a torn ACL, LCL, and posterior lateral corner. Go big or go home, am I right?
That man woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
He got hit hard, though.
Yeah, hit really hard, though.
Edge rusher Randy Gregory also. He's having a knee procedure, which will put him out 2 to 6 weeks.
The hit that he took reminded me of the Super Bowl where Odell ran across midfield and
he didn't even get touched.
He didn't get touched, but when they took him off the field, I'm like, oh, it's probably another Odell situation.
Yeah, because he stood up after a minute, but he couldn't put any weight on that leg.
Wheat?
I said weight.
You said wheat.
Excuse me a moment.
No, it that injury was monumental. Because weren't they up at the end of the half?
We weren't up, but it was close. The Raiders led 19-16. We got the ball back at half, and we went 3 and out.
Yeah, I passed out halfway through that game.
I'm not surprised.
I was really tired.
I was saying then, the Broncos have got to do something about the turnovers, man.
Those turnovers are killing them. Much like the penalties are killing Washington.
Oh yeah,
175 yards in penalties.
It's ridiculous, man. I was saying the thing is, it's not even just that the Broncos are having turnovers; it's that they're having game-altering turnovers.
That fumble from Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, you look back at week 1, the 2 fumbles at the goal line. We couldn't really get anything going after those.
Fumbleitis.
Yeah, Melvin Gordon has fumbled 5 times this season.
It's only it's only, well, now it's week 5, but it's only week 4.
Yeah, through week 4, he has 5 fumbles. He only lost, the Broncos recovered 3 of them. But
he's got to stop.
Yeah, he's got to figure something out.
If they're gonna continue their win streaks and continue being good, he's got to stop fumbling.
Yeah, I mean, I played a little bit of running back in middle school. That's running back 101.
Don't fumble the ball.
Not fumble the ball.
I mean, I played linebacker and defensive line, and I was taught how to make you fumble.
Yeah.
And that man's just fumbling on his own.
Yeah. It's not even that somebody got up there and ripped the ball out. He just got bumped from behind, and the ball went flying out and into the Raiders' hands, and they took it back for a touchdown. The Broncos had just taken the lead 7-3, and we had forced the Raiders to turn over the ball. We didn't force a turnover, but we forced them to punt.
Mm-hmm.
And the Broncos were driving downfield, getting ready to score. They just converted a 4th down. So, momentum was on the Broncos' side. And then Melvin Gordon fumbled, and the Raiders took it back.
That part woke me up because I still had the game on. And, not woke me up, but that I still had the game on, and I was, slowly falling asleep. And I just hear, he fumbled. Oh, he fumbled. And then Raiders got it. And then I open up my eyes and I look at the screen and he's just running back. Fumbleitis, man. Gets to the best of us.
All right, moving forward, we've got the New England Patriots traveling to Green Bay to take on the Packers. Mac Jones was ruled out prior to the game. Brian Hoyer was set to start the game, got injured early in the game. So rookie Bailey Zappi came in. He kept it surprisingly close with the back-to-back MVP Aaron Rodgers. Packers, however, did come away with the overtime win 27-24.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
That game was not really surprising. It wasn't as surprising as some of the games on here, but still, I expected more out of those teams.
Yeah. All right, moving on to Super Bowl 55 rematch. Kansas City Chiefs traveled to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers. Once again, the Buccaneers scored 31 points in this game, but it wasn't enough to match the Chiefs' 41 points.
We got another Houdini.
This game did not disappoint in what is very potentially the last time we see Brady versus Mahomes. Mahomes was asked about that in a press conference, and Brady said, every time I've played him, I thought this was going to be the last time. So until he's not on the field, I'm not ruling out the possibility that we play again.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, as Chocolate mentioned, Houdini.
He escaped 2 sacks and threw for a first down.
I'm thinking of a different play. He got close to the goal line. Mahomes got flushed out right.
The Madden play.
Yes. He got hit, but it was almost like a shot put throw.
Mm-hmm.
He got the ball to Clyde Edwards-Helaire for the TD.
I watched that game, and then I watched the mic'd up stuff for game day, all day game day access.
Yeah.
And after the play, he goes, "Did you see that? Did you see that? It was like play straight out of Madden."
Yeah. Incredible.
It was incredible.
Yeah. All right, we're wrapping things up for week 4. We've got Monday Night Football. The Los Angeles Rams travel to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. Speaking of teams that own another team, the 49ers continued their ownership of Sean McVay as they beat the Rams 24-9.
I think Sean McVay is too outgoing to be a coach.
I don't know. I mean, he just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but I mean, he's like you look at some of these coaches and you see how they like work with the team,
Mm-hmm.
and then you look at Sean McVay and like those other teams coaches are like, yeah, you guys did great, keep it up, but at the same time you guys need to work harder and do better because you know that they're going to come back. Sean McVay is just, you guys did great, yay, happy go lucky,
Yeah,
now go do it again.
Yeah, he doesn't really seem to give out much
Like
criticism.
that's what you need in a team. You need to have criticism for your players.
Yeah.
Tell them like what they did wrong, what they need to do.
Yeah,
better.
You don't want to rag him down too much, but
Definitely not.
you need a no bullshit coach who's going to tell you where you messed up.
Mm-hmm. And Sean McVay is not providing that at all.
For me, the most entertaining thing for the Rams this game, a fan got onto the field and Bobby Wagner laid this motherfucker out.
That was awesome.
It was incredible.
Isn't the dude trying to sue Bobby Wagner now?
Bobby Wagner, the Rams, and the NFL.
Mm-hmm. He shouldn't have been on the field.
No.
He shouldn't have been on the field, and he got what he deserved. I think everybody's with Bobby Wagner on this one.
Yeah, because Bobby Wagner was asked about it in the press conference following the game. It was like, yeah, I could tell security was struggling to get the guy, and I had an opportunity. So
if you see an opportunity like that, and you see that there is no other way to stop him, lay the fucker out.
Yeah, I mean, simple
exactly what he did.
Yeah.
I didn't like stay for that part. I left like right before it. I only realized what happened until when my brother, he said something about it. My brother was like, "Did you hear about the animal rights activist that got hit by an NFL player?" And I'm like, "What?" And I look it up, and apparently he was trying to raise awareness for a bunch of pigs that got stolen from a factory farm.
Yeah.
And that was not the right way to do that.
No, definitely not. Like, all for you for having passion for something you believe in, but
there are so many better ways to do that.
Yeah.
And then you think you will win this case on suing the NFL?
Good luck.
Good luck. How many people do you know that sued the NFL and won?
I don't think anybody ever has.
No.
All right, taking a look at next week, starting things off Thursday night football. Indianapolis Colts coming to Denver to take on the Broncos. Both teams are coming off of tough losses. So who comes out on top?
I think Indianapolis will.
Even with the loss of Jonathan Taylor?
I think they will rally back. Like, yeah, he is like really influential for that team. I think they have like enough great leaders to.
You think they've got some offensive playmakers that can seal the game? I see your point. I disagree. I think Russ continues to cook. Russ continues to cook, and the Broncos do well. I think they win this game.
I think they do. Well, no. I think it's going to be close.
Yeah.
Definitely close. But I don't see the Broncos winning this one.
I got the Broncos winning 24-17.
I know you do. You're wearing a jersey right now.
Yeah, I know. Got a rep.
I'm wearing blue, so you know who I'm picking.
What's your score?
My score for that game is Colts coming out 21-17.
Okay. Moving on to the Sunday slate of games, we've got the New York Giants and the Green Bay Packers traveling to London Both teams are coming off of some pretty close wins. Who keeps the momentum going and who falls short?
I'm gonna say Green Bay.
I think Green Bay wins this game as well.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Jones looks decent. Saquon looks like he's back. But Aaron Rodgers is the back-to-back MVP for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
The Packers are going to take care of business.
Yeah, I think this one's gonna be an easy, maybe. I'm gonna say 24 to. It's 24 to 21. I'm gonna say it comes down to a field goal, like most of these games have been.
All right, I'm going for more of a blowout. I got the Packers winning 28 to 10.
28 to 10.
All right, coming back to the U.S., we've got the Lions playing the Patriots in New England. Both of these teams lost in pretty close games. Who you got coming out on top?
Lions.
I got the Lions as well.
With the way that their offense has been playing recently, I think it's pretty evident that they can put up those points, and that, like, after seeing what they're able to do, and like the coaches realizing that, they're gonna push them to do that again.
Yeah, for sure. I think with Bill Belichick on the sideline, Patriots are never truly out of a game.
No, I'm not counting them out of this game.
No.
It's gonna be close, but
Yeah.
I think the Lions do come out on top.
Yeah. What you got for a score?
For score, I'm gonna say 35 to 28.
Okay. A bit of a more high-scoring game.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the Lions winning 28-21.
28-21?
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Next up, we've got the Los Angeles Chargers traveling to Cleveland to take on the Browns. The Chargers coming off a nice win against the Texans, whereas the Browns just lost to the Falcons. Will the Chargers keep the momentum going and take home the win, or will the Browns bounce back?
I think the Falcons have a lot of momentum coming into this game. Not the Falcons, the
Chargers.
The Chargers have a lot of momentum coming into this game.
Hang on. Look at me. What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Bloody well damn right you are.
I don't know what's going on today. I think I might be high.
Do we need to piss test you?
Possibly.
I knew it.
Flashback to episode 2. But yeah, no, I think the Chargers have a lot of momentum coming into this game and are just going to take care of business.
Yeah. Well, I got the Chargers winning 28-14.
I would say that's a good score.
I think Nick Chubb runs for over 100 yards and a touchdown, but the Chargers defense takes charge enough to lock him up.
Yep.
All right, moving on to an AFC South showdown. We've got the Houston Texans headed to Florida to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Both of these teams lost last week, so who's going to bounce back?
I think that I'm going to say the Jaguars. I don't have a lot of faith in the Texans.
I don't either. I think the Jaguars have looked good enough that they're going to take the win here.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely been like hard for the Texans to get anything done on offense and defense.
Yeah.
If you like watch their other weeks, it's been difficult. But the Jaguars, they've put up some good points against some pretty tough teams.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be Jaguars coming out on top. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be like 14-10.
I've got Jaguars winning 17-14.
17-14.
No. All right, staying in the South, just swapping to the NFC. We've got the Atlanta Falcons headed to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers. The Falcons are coming off a win against the Browns, whereas the Buccaneers fell to the Chiefs.
I think Tampa Bay comes out on top.
Oh yeah,
as well
for
this
sure.
one.
Tom Brady played really well. The Bucs defense just let Patrick Mahomes do what Patrick Mahomes does a little too well last week.
I think they're gonna whip back into shape over the week and win.
Yeah.
That's
I got
it.
the Buccaneers winning this one pretty soundly, 31-14. Excuse me.
I got 28 to 14.
Okay. Moving on. The Pittsburgh Steelers are traveling to Buffalo to take on the Bills. The Bills just beat Baltimore, and the Steelers lost to the Jets. So all of the momentum is in favor of Buffalo. Can Pittsburgh bounce back?
No.
Absolutely not.
Last week we talked about how the Jets are just like a filler team.
Yeah, a team that needs a win. You play the Jets.
Yeah,
And then the Steelers lost to the Jets.
Steelers lost to the Jets. The Jets are a terrible team, and you lose to them.
That's inexcusable.
Yeah, there's no excuse for that.
Yeah, and Mitch Trubisky's out. Kenny Pickett is starting this game. So in his first NFL start, he's taken on the number one defense from last year. I don't see this going well for him.
Mm-mm. So I think we can all pretty soundly say that
Buffalo for
Buffalo
the win.
wins.
Yeah. I've got Buffalo winning 35-17.
Yeah. It's a pretty good score.
All right. Staying in the AFC East, we've got the Miami Dolphins taking on the Jets. Zach Wilson looked good in his return, and Tua Tagovailoa is not playing in this game.
Mm-mm.
Can the Jets take advantage of that?
I don't think they do. Even if Tua's out, you still got huge playmakers.
You got Tyreek Hill. You got Jalen Waddle. You got Mike Gesicki.
And the Jets are the filler team. They're the filler team.
Yeah. I actually disagree.
You think they're going to win?
I think the Jets take home the win. I think Teddy Bridgewater, while he didn't look terrible last week, he didn't look great. And I think Zach Wilson improves on his performance from last week, and the Jets take home the win 21-17. I think it's a close game, but I think the Jets win.
I'm going to say the Dolphins win this 21-10.
Okay. Moving on, we got the Chicago Bears traveling to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. The Bears lost last week, where the Vikings won. I think the Vikings keep the winning streak going.
I think the Vikings do, but it's going to come down to that last-minute field goal that they always seem to get.
Okay.
I think it's going to be close. It's going to be 21-24 Vikings.
Okay. I got the Vikings winning, 24-10. I think the Bears struggle a lot. All right, moving on. We've got the Tennessee Titans traveling to Washington, D.C. to take on the Commanders. The Titans won last week against the Colts. Commanders lost to the Dallas Cowboys.
If the King can show up, this game is going to be the Titans.
I think regardless of if the King shows up or not, I think the Titans win this one.
Especially if he shows up.
Oh, yeah. If
the King goes where the King wants.
Yeah, if King Henry doesn't show up, I think it'll be a close game. Call it 24-17. If King Henry shows up, I think you're looking at closer to 28-17.
28-17?
28-17, maybe even 35-17.
I like those numbers.
Moving on, we've got the Seattle Seahawks traveling to New Orleans to take on the Saints. The Seahawks beat the Lions last week. The Saints falling to Minnesota in London. The infamous double doink.
I think that happens again.
You think the double doink happens again?
I think the double doink happens again.
What are the odds, man? That would be incredible. Back-to-back double doinks to lose the game for the Saints.
If the double doink happens again, I'm pretty sure that the Saints are going to lose.
I think regardless of double doink or not, the Seahawks win this game. The Saints don't look great this season. I think their struggles continue and the Seahawks take advantage.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Seahawks winning 24-14.
I got them winning 28-17.
Okay.
I think the Saints put up some good points. 'Cause even though they don't look bad, they're still scoring and they're still moving along. But the Seahawks outscore them. Outplay them.
Keeping with the theme of NFC West at NFC South, the 49ers are traveling to Carolina to take on the Panthers. The 49ers coming off of a strong win last week against the Rams, whereas the Panthers just lost to the Cardinals. I got the 49ers. I think the defense does well. I think Baker Mayfield continues to struggle. If Christian McCaffrey can continue to stay healthy, this should be a close game, but
If not, then it's put away for them.
yeah. I got the 49ers taking this win 28-14.
Mm-hmm. 28-14. That's
All right. Sticking with the theme of NFC West teams, the Philadelphia Eagles are taking on the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona. Eagles taking home the win last week against Jacksonville. The Cardinals just beat the Panthers, like we mentioned. Did the Eagles stay undefeated?
Yeah. The Eagles have definitely proven themselves to be a team that deserves deserves the
record they've got.
the record they've got by just what they've been doing for all 4 weeks. They've been putting up points. They've been doing great stops on defense. And I think they just continue that and stay undefeated.
All right.
I think this is going to be not too close, but not too far. I think it's going to be at least 2 possessions, 28-14.
Okay. I've got this one 28-17 for the Eagles. Hey, guess what? Another NFC West team. And another NFC East team, actually. The Dallas Cowboys traveling to LA to take on the Rams. The Cowboys coming off a win against the Commanders. The Rams coming off a loss to the San Francisco 49ers.
If we can play like we did last week, and
We being the Cowboys.
And Trayvon Diggs just keeps being Trayvon Diggs, and Micah Parsons just keeps being Micah Parsons, and Cooper Rush just keeps being Cooper Rush, and and freaking CeeDee Lamb just keeps bulldozing through defenders. I believe that we will win.
I see your point. I raise your Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb, and Cooper Rush. Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, Cooper Kupp, and Matt Stafford. I think this will be a pretty good game.
It's going to be an amazing game. I'm so excited for this.
Yeah. I do have the Rams taking the win here. 28-24.
Fair. I mean, I can see where you're going with that, but I think it's going to be Cowboys 28, 28-26.
26.
I think the Rams managed to get a safety on us at the
Alright.
last minute.
All right. Flipping over the AFC, we've got the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Baltimore Ravens in Maryland. If you're not sure who's at home, that's your fault for failing geography. The Bengals coming off a nice win against the Dolphins last week. The Ravens falling just shy of the Bills last week.
I think Houdini can win this.
I think Houdini and the Ravens bounce back. I think it's a close game. I think the Bengals looked pretty good last week.
Definitely not the best we've seen them, but they did look pretty good.
I think the Ravens won this one 28-17.
That's a pretty good score.
Wrapping things up for week 5, we've got Monday Night Football. The Las Vegas Raiders travel to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. Both these teams coming off a win.
I think the Chiefs win this one. I think the Raiders just showed up for the Broncos and then aren't going to do anything else.
Yeah, and Arrowhead Stadium is tough to play in.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be like it. The Chiefs are always a good opponent, but I think at home they're just going to be unstoppable.
Mm-hmm. They like the Cowboys at home.
Yeah.
We didn't win. We didn't lose a single home game.
Yeah.
All our away games we lost.
I think the Chiefs won this one 35-14.
Yeah. 35-14. That's a good score.
Some good games this week. Some good games last week.
Some surprising games this week.
For sure. That is going to do it for this episode. I'm Milk.
I'm Chocolate.
And this is Let's Get Offensive.